Hi.
Hi.
Lesson 128. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Don't touch anything. Thank you. Hi. So this lesson saved me today. Wow. Oh,
What?
that's my curtain helper. So our practicing today was three quiet periods. I have not done any of the longer ones. Hold on, my love. Hold on, my love. So it says, give it 10 minutes rest 3 times today. And when your eyes are opened afterwards, you will not value anything you see as much as when you looked at it before. Your whole perspective... Sorry. Your whole perspective on the world will shift by just a little every time you let your mind escape its chains. So I have to say, I woke up in a bit of chains. And I think it's just some healing that's happening. That used to be my website, healingitshappening.com. I have paused that baby. Let's just say, I think people relate to this where you wake up and you've got problems. Not every day. Some people maybe. Mine isn't like that every day, but today I woke up literally with like a problem right on my mind. And my mind was kind of sending me different directions with it. And kind of saying like, screw it, I don't care. Or, I care, what do you do to fix it? And I was just sharing with a friend that this is very similar, like a couple days ago, I felt a bit dehydrated and kind of, because normally 1 cup of coffee for me is so fun. It's like a treat and I have it in the morning. And if I have more than one, sometimes it appears my whole system's like malfunction. And a couple days I did it in a row and I just felt a little off, right? And so one day I was like, okay. No coffee today because I wasn't feeling even that I wanted it. I even felt like when I was pregnant, I had an aversion to coffee and I felt that way. And yet I was scared to not have it because I was like, wait, I like it. And then what does this mean? Does this mean I'm not going to have it? And I've gone periods without it. And it's like, I don't want to play that. I don't want to deprive myself. This whole thing where my mind is like, I'm not happy. And this morning was a different situation, but I woke up and like, I kind of wanted to rush back and have my life be just as I thought, even if it wasn't perfect. Like, no, I want it to be comfortable. No, I don't like how things are. They don't feel normal. What do I do? And when I read the lesson and it was, yes, honey. You have to pick which side. You have to remember your sides. So the lesson saying that this world holds nothing that I want. I'm so lucky because yesterday being a Tuesday night, I spent time in John Mundy's class. I have helped him in class a bit as moderating his screen, whatever. And he had taught one night how this very lesson, like there is nothing in this world that we can gain. He did say though that this world provides us with learning, that's what this world is for. It's not that things of this world are what we want to seek for because they're temporal, they change, and they're kind of rooted in the basis of many things. So for example, marriage or a relationship and love are based in ideas that are rooted in a worldly view. That's kind of how we come to know what love is. We may know, like Justine may have a very deep knowing of what love is and she can't explain it. But once we go through the learning process, we take on perhaps perhaps what movies, songs, people, our parents teach us, whether it's explicit or implicit. And then, luckily, these concepts don't actually work and they kind of fall apart. And I feel like as you're in relationship and there's change and it expands and you've got your own life stuff you're coming in to heal and expand into and all that. So for me, I can just feel like I'm in the middle of just, as I said, I'm like, wow. And the course is moving along in this way is so helpful. It's like, yeah, I actually don't know what love is in the sense that I might even intellectually know, like, okay, unconditional love, that's the love. However, the execution of that, I may be like completely new at. And the only way to execute these new ways the course teaches us is you cannot execute it with your own mind, because your mind doesn't know this new system. It's like your operating system cannot handle it. So you have to be in a moment by moment openness to receive the download from the other operating system, which you cannot access. So I feel like, just like when, like, let's say coffee is an example of like a comfort, or you're being told like no sugar is something and you're like, oh my God, and for me, it's kind of like just ways of relating in my marriage that have felt comfortable for me. I can just feel, we're constantly going through shifting and changing, and it's not bad. It's just like me being like, I don't want to give up this because I don't know what it means. I don't want to give up coffee because then life is boring. But that's not true. There's something that awaits you when you're willing to release your attachment, And so I just know I'm in the middle of this and having this lesson where it's like, don't look for things in the world, and then but I'm not looking for things in the world. What I am looking for is a relationship to Holy Spirit, the infinite, the divine, where I am given guidance and step-by-step instruction that's gentle, that is a pathway to what I do want, which is peace. And it's like, if for me, coffee just seems to give me, like, I don't know what it gives me, drugs. What does it give me? What does it give me, Justine? I don't even know, but somewhere in my mind, I'm like, I like it. And of course, I make it the way I like it. So it's just something I like. So I think it gives me a temporary enjoyment, pleasure. And without it, I feel like my life will be less pleasurable and flat or something. And I've lived without it. So I know I've gone through lots of periods where I didn't have it. So I know better. But it's kind of like, I don't want to give up my worldly pleasure, but there are other things that could be in its place, or not even in its place, but it's the way I hold it in my mind that's so important. It has nothing to do with the coffee. The coffee is neutral. It has nothing, only the meaning I gave it. We already went over that. But this is what I'm learning is, I'm just being gently guided to give up the meaning I've made of everything. And so this morning I woke up feeling like, I don't know if my marriage is doing, like, things feel shifted. Throwing in a beautiful daughter has just shifted things. And what I'm looking for now is just like, if I go without coffee and I'm curious how I will feel, what I'll be thinking, it's like going without what's familiar and letting what's true take its place, and being willing to ask for help, because I don't actually know how to do it. And my personality rushes back to the familiar. of how to keep my life in place, because then I feel like it's normal. And it's like, no, let's just be open. And there's nothing to be afraid of in this life. And you don't have to make a lot of meaning out of it. It's like just seeking the love of God and peace in each moment, which is available, which the one Byron Katie question, who would I be without this thought? When the stressful thoughts came this morning, I'm like, who would I be without that thought? I'd be peaceful. It's morning. Let's do our morning stuff. And I got right through that little bump. And I am grateful. So 3 times practicing, and then throughout the day when you think there's some value. And I had another example come up where I had 2 more today where I had opinions come up. I'll see if my mom watches this, but it was like, my mom's like, oh, do you want this thing? Because there's a dumpster my neighbor has because she's moving and I can get rid of a lot of stuff. And I was like, don't just throw everything in the dumpster and the world is going to be garbage. And then I was like, oh, no, that's okay. And I watched that one, and I had another one come up earlier where I had this whole story like, no, I'm not doing that and I don't want to. And then I was like, wow, okay. Because it says, this will not tempt me to delay myself. The world I see holds nothing I want. And I don't want my opinions and judgments because they get me all worked up. I don't want that. So it's very fun. So I hope you enjoy today. I was very chatty today. And I hope it was helpful in any way. And Miss Justine, thank you. She took a second nap. So we're filming later in the day, which is why the lighting is a little sucky, but don't say that word, honey. Okay, so we say, what do we say? We say peace.
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 And you do your pretty smile. Good job. And you say bye-bye.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Oh, you can press it. Go ahead. Press it, like seriously. Oh, you want to watch yourself?
What did you do?
Okay.